Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I'm really happy to have Akanksha today. So, Akanksha is an entrepreneur and the co-founder of Be Veg Foods. So, yeah, thank you very much for being here. It's my pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Lakshit. It's my pleasure to be here with you today.
It's my pleasure indeed to have you over here, and I'm really seeing towards this conversation forward. So, before starting anything, I'd just like to ask you is if you can give a brief note about yourself and what you do. That would be wonderful.
Sure. My name is Akanksha Ghai, and I'm a co-founder of Be Veg Foods, as you mentioned. So, what is this company all about? As the name suggests, Be Veg. We are trying to pursue people to be vegan, to be vegetarian, and how are we doing it? We're doing it by making best-in-class products, which are the best suitable plant-based alternatives to the meat alternatives or the milk alternatives out there. So we're trying to do that. That's
Okay.
our
And then how did this
venture.
idea of Be Veg Food begin? How did you get this idea to start a company? Like, what was the interest and how things started?
Me and my husband always wanted to do something in food. Food has been good. Sattvic food has been very close to our heart. And
Hmm.
if I talk about the family which my husband hails from, they're
Hmm.
Arismaji people. So since I would say decades now, they've been vegetarians. But the whole idea stuck that uh, from the West, if I talk about, there was a revolution which was going on in terms of veganism.
Yeah.
And we understood that what is this revolution all about? What is that people are really fighting for? And then we understood that being vegan, how mandatory and how good it is, how humane it is in these times. And since we were vegetarians already, so being, just to have a vegan venture came a little handy to us while we made them understand that how good it is to have products which doesn't hurt animals.
Okay. And what kind of products do you have at BVeg Foods? How did like what kind of products and how do you make them? Not the whole recipe, but what kind of things are utilized in it. If you can give a short idea about it, also that would be wonderful too.
Currently, see, if I with BVeg Foods, the venture is gonna be upscaling the plant-based products,
Okay.
which would be plant-based meats, which would be plant-based milk. Currently, we are working out of our Delhi office because our factory is on our way on the construction bit. So we are creating prototypes of plant-based meats right now. When I talk about plant-based meats, we're trying to mimic chicken and we're trying to mimic mutton with our products like a burger patty, which taste very close to chicken. That's what we're working on right now, and we're working on kebabs as well. So
Okay.
that's our line of product initially, and probably a couple of months down the line, we'll be working on plant-based milks as well.
Okay. Wonderful.
So that's
Wonderful.
our funder. That's our funder for now.
Okay. And like why this idea struck to you of as you said you loved about food and your husband's family is vegetarian, their side is vegetarian for years. So I think why I just wanted to ask you is why you know into food like it's because of your of course you wanted to give people alternatives and all those things, but why did you choose foods? Maybe you would have also why didn't you choose something different? I just wanted to ask this question. Why foods?
So I guess let me take you through our background. We hail from an agro food processing business family, which has a cumulative experience of good 70 years in agro and food processing.
Okay.
So food naturally comes to us. We've been the co-manufacturer for big ice cream cones out there, and we've got a big setup for agro processing with a fleet of cold stores which
Mm-hmm.
are spread across the northern India.
Okay.
We have a food processing unit, agro processing unit. So because of this, food comes naturally to us, and because of this, me and my husband are very close to the food industry, and we were on a lookout of newer opportunities, newer sustainable way, newer opportunities which are going to be there in the food industry and which would be staying for a couple of decades more. So that's when we got to look out on this vegan opportunity, which is primarily gonna be big. So our idea about our venture is to be a co-manufacturer. For example, tomorrow you come to me and you say that I'm an entrepreneur or I'm a business company and I think this space is really catching up and I would like to be a part of this space. How do you think I can contribute or be a part of this space? You would say, I don't know the science behind what products you're doing, but I understand. I've tasted the products. They seem good to me. So we will be more than happy to have you with us. We'll tell you this is our recipe. We'll probably co-manufacture for you, or we can white label for you if you understand, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, okay, wonderful, wonderful. And what kind of problems did you see in the beginning? Uh, like what? Of course, you already had experience in the food industry. As you said, you were manufacturing cones, and you already had agro and processing unit. So even giving the taste, the flavor, getting a flavor of chicken, and not chicken thing. Like maybe it's a plant-based patty. So how did you get the flavor, and what kind of problems did you see in starting the veg foods?
See, it's just, I would not say problems, it's just little phases which you phase out. All of these are learning stepping stones. They're not problems because problems is a very high funda shady word which I would not like to use. With the learning phase, because me and my husband, we were enthusiastic about getting into this phase, but we understood very soon that we are not technologists. We don't know how to put a product together. We might be, he's an excellent cook, but at the same time, putting the product together, that to having a massive scale up of it, it cannot come handy to me or him. So we tried and built up a team together, our R&D team, which involves a good number of food technologists who working on these products. And then we hired freshers out of Niftam. They're a brilliant batch of employees, which not employees, I would say family, an NPD family which we own, and they're working hard towards building this recipe for us. And this also didn't come to us probably in a day, in a week. It took probably more than 2 months to understand, the texture, the flavor. I don't remember how many burger patties or kebabs we've eaten till now. And it's an ever evolving it's an ever evolving thing. I will never be There will never, since there would be some recipes your mom would be cooking, right? And it's never be ever evolved. Every time she would like to do a little tweaking and it'll come out better, it'll come out odd. So in the same way, I think we're there somewhere, but it's gonna be an ever evolving journey for us.
Okay, okay, okay. And as you start company, you even get to know about the market, what market wants, what market doesn't want. So when you started these vegan or if you call vegetarian or whatever you call them, so when you started these selling these patties, what was people's reaction? Because telling somebody, uh, today in the world everywhere people have so much of things, if we have movement for equality, we have movement for uh, about being not racist and all those things, and that's the only thing people can question you is for your food. But when there are some kind of people, of course there are some kind of people when tell you that you eating that meat and that's wrong because you're taking life of a chicken for that. So people would not be happy because that's the only thing you don't have to give up on, and it's your right. But at stating that, quoting that, I would also say it's even right, when you have a right to a certain thing, when the thing which is in your plate is not, taking somebody's life or harming someone. So when you came out with this idea of vegan patties, what was the how was market responded to it? And like what was the reaction of people, and what kind of response did you get?
See, honestly, we're not in the market yet. We're
Okay,
not out there.
okay,
Are we probably would not? That's what I said. We planning to get into a space which is going to be a co-manufacturing of a private labeling. So
okay,
we are the ones going to support the companies back. We're going to have their back out there. We're going to support them. We're going to be the soldiers behind them.
hmm,
Providing them the best of the product. But I would say we did a lot of trials and the product is are coming out well. In terms of market, I've done. See, people have not, India's not still come up to the term being a vegan. But while understanding the market, they're more of a potato based market out there in terms of vegetarian as well. So if we give them a good high protein alternative, I think that'll work. So we've had our surveys, we've had our market researches,
Mm-hmm.
which made us understand that people are looking for something which is different. The vegetarians are bored of aloo now, or the board of the regular cheese nuggets now. There's something extra which can be there. And precisely, it's not supposed to be only for meat eaters. They can be for vegetarians as well, because that's going to be high protein.
Okay. Okay. And personal level, at your personal level, why do you think vegetarian or veganism can help someone and help around people around us, or help the nature or anyone? Why do you think that?
I think it's going to be a big change, because it's just not me. They're proven facts. There's scientific facts over there. Because today, the chicken you're eating, or anybody who's having a chicken today, one chicken, it's probably approximately 1 kg. So they're supposed to be fed 9 kgs of feed to give you that 1 kg of chicken. So that's the ratio. 9:1 is the ratio, which is very which is very harmful to the environment and to the nature. We understand, right? The ratio, anyone would understand the give and take, right? You give 9 times and you just get 1 kg of
Right,
it,
yeah.
or one portion of it, and it's huge. At the same time, what we're feeding the chicken is full of antibiotics.
Yeah.
It's just antibiotics which we're putting on. It's a little sad, but a majority of antibiotics which are produced here are fed to these animals so that
Animals.
they get pounced in weight. How somebody goes to the butcher shop and get the piece of meat? It's by weight.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
a lot of antibiotics are injected to these animals if I talk about lamb or chicken or cows for beef, so that they get gain they gain a lot of weight. And that's how it happens. So it's not good for your health as well.
Yeah.
What they're eating, the antibiotics which are going in, and the 9:1 ratio, everything, if I talk about, accumulates to be, it's a social evil for everything, for your health, for your environment, for your nature, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And
and
it's a
and
proven fact.
yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so you were speaking about these things and about protein. So of course these are true, and it's also shown in scientific studies that these are antibiotics are fed to them, and people there are a lot of doctors who say you get B12 from these meat things, but they don't understand that B12 is like, today you cannot find B12 anywhere till it's not produced in scientifically. The capsules which you get are the only B12 which are fed to these animals. So you get this B12 when you can even take the pill directly, then feeding them and eating them. So they're just a middle part of it that people don't understand. And saying that, and what as you in this phase, when you are up to building up something and knowing something and experimenting about something, so what kind of things did you get to you spoke about protein. So what do you think protein, like what kind of alternatives for things we can consume for meat and dairy to get the same amount of protein, calcium, whatever the body requires?
Pretty good protein options, if I talk about out there. And India has been 73% of Indians are vegetarians. Even if I talk about being non-vegetarians, we're not hardcore non-vegetarians. Unlike
Yeah.
West, where they have all three meals would be chicken or would be eggs. It's probably in India somebody would be having chicken just twice a week.
Yeah.
Just for the heck of it. So we already have good sources of proteins, which is in form of our pulses.
Yes. Yes.
And a combination of pulse and a grain, which is probably a regular dal chawal, is a good complete source of protein for anybody. If somebody who's not in a position to afford these plant-based meats or plant-based milks, a
Yes.
regular combination of rice and pulses
Yeah.
gives you the complete portion of your protein. It's good to go.
Yeah. And yeah, that's also like, normally don't not everybody has that much yeah, India as a country, people are a lot of people have, at the time there was people who were very poor in India, but now people are coming up from poor to middle class, but also the consumption level of the meat is still low in India, which is wonderful. And more than like, India's the second highest population in the world, but the meat consumption per population is just 4 kgs, which is already very very less. And it's wonderful. That's great that we as a country are able to achieve this. But saying this, uh, the consumption is growing as because also as people are you know, in every other country, in every other growing country, eating meat, you know, you have money and you can consume unlimited meat. It's a kind
It's
of,
a social status.
yeah,
It's a
yes,
social status. Yeah.
yes, you know,
No, I completely agree to this because of lately what's happening is that meat and chicken is related to your social status out there. So it's basically the more you earn, you would like to eat meat, you would like to
yeah,
eat chicken. That gives you a little boost to your a social status boost to your ego that I can afford it. I can afford. It's good to go. So in weddings as well, there's always, I don't know about out there anywhere, but in Delhi there's basically, if there's a wedding, there's a per plate thing, right?
yeah,
And there are different charges for vegetarian and there are different charges for non-vegetarian. So in a wedding, or probably if you're throwing a party at an occasion, if you're throwing a party which is a non-vegetarian, which has a non-vegetarian on the menu, you consider yourself to be up high in the status out
yeah,
there.
yes, true, yeah, yeah. And there are a lot of things to be work upon and change. And as I was speaking about this, what do you think, like as a responsible citizen of this planet, of this globe, of this of this planet, of the being a responsible humans, we should do in our lives and inculcate things which are going to be working at, making, we can work towards a better plan. What do you think about that? What things should we do and what can we do?
See, I would just have a humble request to people out there that is just, you don't have right over anyone's life. Neither chicken out there, neither the cow's milk. You need to understand. It's good for the environment. It's good for yourself. You need to be more humane. You need to understand to let the other living being be, rather than just pushing things across, and just because you are a superior I don't know, you are a superior animal, I would say,
Yeah,
because out there who can probably have a knife and just kill animals out there just for your 5 minute mouth feel. I think every human should just step back and look at what they're doing. It doesn't come with social status that you have money in your pocket and it gives you a right to kill someone, or you are rich enough to take away the cow's milk which is meant for the baby.
yes,
You need to be humane enough. More than anything, you need to be more human. If you are human, I would say be more human and understand what is it to respect the life of other animals, other
yeah,
beings, I would say.
yeah. And that's also true. And but we also have people, people would never go, if I give a knife to you, you would not go and kill a chicken for your food. But then they say, no, I'm not cruel, but people want to eat that chicken. So that's really weird, that one side you say I'm not cruel, at the one side you're paying for the cruelty, which has been done to those animals. uh so maybe, and there are some people who know all the bad things and they recognize all the bad things, but they don't want to, when you tell this is this bad thing you're doing to a chicken or to a cow, people will say it's true, but then how do I get my protein? If I say I'll make them understand of protein and everything, they'll say, but would I be able to get the, live without meat? And they have hundred of excuses, hundred of this. And that's, I think, maybe working towards, and I really am really wonderful, like we're really happy that companies like Be Veg Foods and a lot of different vegan companies are coming out and working towards, giving a product which can replace the regular consumption of meat and all those things. So yes, and ending up, I would like to just ask you last question before ending this session up. What kind of message would you like to leave over here? Or would you like to speak about something, or any kind of message you like to add, or you speak about anything and you can just go on and add and speak upon over here? It's you can.
I would just like to tell people to being vegan is gonna do more good to you. It's not gonna, as you suggested before, that if you don't understand the cruelty or non-cruelty, a difference between that as well, you need to understand what vegan does to you and your body in terms of your health.
Yeah.
Understand that, and if you read more about it, I'm like 200% sure you cannot think of having chicken or milk the next day. But because what goes inside is just an eye opener for everyone.
Yeah.
I would urge all the community people, probably people of your age, the coming generations who's out there, to not associate meat with a social status out there. Instead, associate being vegan as a part of social status.
Yeah.
That you're more human, you're more aware about things. Because that's the generation which is going to drive the revolution out there
Yes.
in a big, big way. You guys are the torch bearers. If you and the future of tomorrow, if you would understand how important it is to be vegan, you know, for your planet, for yourself, for your health, for your family, I think you would be the one who's gonna take the lead forward. People like us just can support you with good products so that you can switch to better alternatives. But the
Yes.
thought process would come from you.
True. Yeah, I really agree to that point. And yeah, again, thank you very much for being here and sharing about your journey and thing. And we would be very happy to hear about coming, about Be Veg Foods and how it grows, and know about the company very, very in the coming months and very soon. So again, thank you very much for being here. It's wonderful that you joined me for this conversation. Again, thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Lakshit. Thank you.